Yes, to give you an overview, what I'm talking about systems we integrated all over the world, and 500 million of people are covered and protected with these systems. But the main issue I want to talk to you is to support the entire incident management life cycle. What it is. This morning you heard a lot of speeches about very important things like GIS system, flood simulations, applications, and so on. And I want to talk a little bit about the workflow. The workflow, which is really very, very important to respond to disasters, to major incident. It starts with preparing, preventing, detection, assess, respond, recover. And this workflow is really the same for police command and control tasks, for disaster management tasks, for management crisis group tasks, for fire, for EMS. It is very important to realize the workflow if a disaster is coming up. And what modules are in this workflow? The module is a command and control solution. A module is a crisis management system. A module is geospatial data processing. We heard a lot of things about this morning. Additional module, geospatial analysis. Additional business intelligence to analyze the data, to analyze geospatial data, but also to analyze operating data. The mobile solution, the geodata workflow to integrate data from several sources, municipality data, government data, consumer map data, for example. And digital radio integration. Digital radio integration or communication is one of the most important issue in this workflow. But you see, you have a lot of modules. But what is important is to have it in a workflow. You must integrate the data, you must analyze the data, and you must have the opportunity to make a decision. And this within some seconds if an emergency call is coming up. And if you look to the target is a common operational picture. You see here a lot of these subsystems, sensor data integration, video, access control data, telephone data, radio system data, telephony data. But what is in the middle? In the middle, there's no database. In the middle is no specific data. In the middle is the human being. There's a man, there's a management crisis group which must have access to this data in a very short time and in a filtered way that the important data are provided over a system. And in my life I have had a lot of contacts to people in the command and control centers, and one guy told me, I have 1.5 meters with my arms, and I'm sitting on a desk, or my colleagues in the management crisis group, they're sitting on a desk, and within these 1.5 meters, I must have access to all the important data within a very short time, in a very compressed way, that I can make my decision very soon, very fast, to do the right things, to send out the right resources in the field. And this is the challenge, to have this common operational picture in a command and control room, in a management crisis room. Incident response management solution, public safety. Let me highlight for you some modules in this workflow which are really important. First of all, it is the command and control system. It's a computer-aided dispatch. This must be the platform, the integration platform for all these subsystems, from geodata until sensor data, especially video data. So the computer-aided dispatch system in a call and communication center must give the commander in the command and control center all these data to do his decisions. The integration of external GIS data. This is an example from Austria, where also is an area which they have very often many floods, and they have integrated into this workflow also the results of the flood analysis. For example, here you see the flood area and the covered buildings, and you see also in the command and control environment the symbols for their field resources they have in. So they have one view to the GIS-based data and their organizations. And this is a prerequisite to have the right overview for them. And then you see here in the screen down a list of the buildings, the addresses which are covered. And this list he can send it out to his police or field organization to go out and to evacuate these citizens. So a very short, a very compressed workflow. Flood areas, people to evacuate. This is what the management crisis groups must be provided. All the other analysis must be in the background, from other departments, from other people sitting in another room, or so on. Additional integration of consumer maps. What you see here is the real CAT map data. In the command and control center, you need your own database, which comes from the municipality, state data from your GIS department. You must have this data in your environment, because you must have really to be sure that you have a very high availability, 99.999%, to have this data in access. But additional, you must have the opportunity to have an open system which gives you the capabilities also to access to consumer data like Google Maps or Microsoft Bing, which are also available on the market and very easy available. So you can start very fast with the system, and which is sometimes also very necessary, you can also have an overview about areas which are not responsible, but which are also interesting for you. The second thing in this workflow I want to highlight is the mobile dispatch. In the command and control area, in the management crisis group, that's one location. But which is important is your field resources. Your field resources must have very fast the information they need to act. What helps you in the management crisis group to have all the information? The information must come into the field. The resources in the field must have the information they need to have and optimize access to this data over radio communication, over GSM, UMTS, and so on. Yes, this is an example where automatically generated data from the management crisis group are transferred in the field, and in the field there is the written documentation what they have to do, and also with a map display. So you see the CAD map, that's your own map in the management crisis group, provided by the GIS department, but also, for example, Bing or a Google map if it is necessary. But the main data set is your data set coming from your GIS department in the municipality.